Question 1. Topic: Unfair and deceptive trade practices. False advertising and misrepresentation during comprehensive review of process that needs improvement. Regulatory agency investigates popular dietary supplement company for potentially misleading advertising claims. The company has been marketing its product as clinically proven to aid in weight loss by boosting metabolism. However, upon review, the only supporting study was conducted on sample of 5 individuals without peer review. The advertisement also features testimonials from users claiming they lost 30 pounds in a month without diet or exercise, but the fine print states, results may vary, but which of the following best describes the legal implications of this advertisement under U.S. consumer protection laws? A. The advertisement is legal because it includes disclaimer about varying results absolving the company of liability. B. The advertisement is deceptive under the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA) because it lacks scientific substantiation and misleads consumers. C. The company can avoid legal liability by arguing that individual testimonials reflect personal experiences rather than a uniform outcome. D. The advertisement is law under the First Amendment as it constitutes commercial speech protected by free speech rights. Answer: B. The advertisement is deceptive under the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA) because it lacks scientific substantiation and misleads consumers. Explanation: the Federal Trade Commission Act (FTA) prohibits unfair and deceptive acts or practices in commerce. Under the FTC's guidelines on advertising, companies must provide competent and reliable scientific evidence to support health-related claims. Here, the companies claim that its supplement is clinically proven, lacks legitimate scientific backing. The study in question involved only 5 participants, which is insufficient for scientific reliability. Additionally, the FTC at Section 5 states that advertisements are deceptive if they mislead consumers. Acting reasonably under the circumstances, testimonials that imply unrealistic results, such as losing 30 pounds a month without lifestyle changes, constitute false advertising unless the company can substantiate that these results are typical for average users. Y is incorrect. Disclaimer alone does not negate deceptive claim if the main message of the ad is misleading. YC is incorrect. Testimonials must reflect actual experiences and be representative of expected results. The FTC requires advertisers to disclose whether testimonials are unusual outcomes. YD is incorrect. While commercial speech is protected under the First Amendment, misleading or deceptive advertising is not protected. Question 2. Topic: Consumer contracts and legal protections. Unconscionable contracts and clauses in high-stakes environment where multiple challenges exist. An elderly consumer purchases high-interest payday loan contract from lender. The contract includes clause that requires arbitration in remote jurisdiction, imposes excessive penalties for late payments, and waives the borrower's right to file class action lawsuit. The consumer later that the terms are extremely unfavorable and challenges the enforceability of the agreement. Under U.S. consumer law, which of the following best describes the likely legal outcome? A. The contract is enforceable because the consumer voluntarily signed the agreement, indicating consent. B. The arbitration clause is invalid because it imposes an undue burden by requiring resolution in remote jurisdiction. C. The lender can argue that payday loans are exempt from standard contract law protections due to their high-risk nature. D. The contract remains enforceable because courts do not intervene in private loan agreements. Answer: B. The arbitration clause is invalid because it imposes an undue burden by requiring resolution in a remote jurisdiction. Explanation: a contract may be deemed unconscionable if it is oppressive or unfairly one-sided, particularly when one party lacks meaningful choice in the bargaining process. The doctrine of unconscionability under the Uniform Commercial Code Section 2302 allows courts to invalidate or modify terms. In this case, the arbitration clause is problematic because it forces the consumer to litigate in a distant jurisdiction, creating a significant burden, especially for an elderly borrower. Courts have frequently struck down such provisions as procedurally unconscionable, unfair in the bargaining process. Excessive penalties for late payments may also be considered substantively unconscionable, grossly unfair contract terms. The waiver of class action is another red flag, as consumer financial laws such as the Dodd-Frank Act provide protections against unfair lending practices. Y is incorrect. Signing a contract does not automatically make it enforceable if the terms are oppressive. YC is incorrect. Payday loans are subject to state usury laws and federal protections like the Truth in Lending Act, TILA, and Dodd-Frank Act, meaning predatory clauses can be challenged. YD is incorrect. Courts regularly review and invalidate unfair consumer contracts, especially those involving financial exploitation. Question 3. Topic: Credit and financial consumer protection. Predatory lending practices. While investigating inconsistencies across various units, Consumer Watchdog Agency uncovers pattern where lender targets low-income borrowers with adjustable rate mortgages that feature initial low payments followed by steep increases. Many borrowers default due to the sudden rate hikes, resulting in foreclosures and financial hardship. Additionally, they failed to properly disclose loan terms, violating federal lending laws. Which of the following laws provides the strongest protection against such predatory lending practices? A. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act (FDEA). B. Truth in Lending Act (TILA). C. Consumer Product Safety Act USA. D. Federal Trade Commission Act (FDA). Answer: B. Truth in Lending Act (TILA). Explanation: the Truth in Lending Act (TILA) requires lenders to provide clear and accurate disclosures about loan terms, including interest rates, repayment obligations, and potential payment changes. The failure to disclose key loan details, such as how adjustable rates will increase, violates TILA's disclosure rules. Predatory lending often involves bait-and-switch tactics where borrowers are often appealing initial interest rate that later increases drastically. Lack of transparency where key details about repayment schedules are hidden or misleadingly presented. Targeting vulnerable consumers, especially low-income, elderly, or non-English-speaking borrowers. Why is incorrect? The SDEA protects consumers from unfair debt collection practices, but it does not regulate loan origination or disclosures. Why C is incorrect? The CPSA relate consumer product safety, not financial transactions. Why D is incorrect? While the FDCA broadly prohibits unfair business practices, TILA specifically addresses financial disclosures and lending transparency. TILA also includes the right of rescission, allowing borrowers to cancel certain loan agreements within 3 days if proper disclosures were not made. Moreover, lenders can face regulatory penalties and borrower lawsuits for non-compliance. Question 4. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges intersect, a large consumer electronics company has been accused of engaging in bait-and-switch advertising. The company ran an aggressive marketing campaign advertising a high-end smartphone at an unbeatable price, but when customers visited the store, they were told the advertised model was out of stock and were pressured into purchasing a more expensive alternative. Some customers believe this tactic intentional and have filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission (FTC). Under consumer protection laws, what must the plaintiffs demonstrate to establish that the company engaged in illegal bait-and-switch practices? A. The company knowingly advertised a product it did not intend to sell at the advertised price and had insufficient stock available. B. The customers misunderstood the advertisement, as there was a disclaimer that the offer was limited to available stock. C. The company provided a similar alternative product at a reasonable price, even if it was different from the one advertised. D. The advertisement did not specify the duration of the promotions. The company was free to stop honoring the deal at any time. Answer: A. The company knowingly advertised a product it did not intend to sell at the advertised price and had insufficient stock available. Explanation: bait-and-switch advertising is an unfair and deceptive trade practice under the FTC Act 15 U.S.C. SS 45. It occurs when business entices consumers with an advertised product at an attractive price but has no intention of selling it under the advertised terms. Instead, the business pressures consumers into purchasing more expensive substitute. To establish illegal bait-and-switch practices, plaintiffs must demonstrate the company knowingly advertised a product it did not intend to sell at the stated price. The company failed to have reasonable stock of it, given the expected demand. Customers were pressured into purchasing more expensive alternative when the advertised product was unavailable. A is correct because these factors indicate an intentional bait-and-switch tactic. B is incorrect because while disclaimers such as limited to available stock might provide some protection, they do not excuse company from intentionally misleading consumers by advertising products it never intended to sell. C is incorrect because simply offering different product does not remedy the deceptive practice of misleading customers in the first place. D is incorrect because failing to specify promotions duration does not justify deceptive advertising tactics. Question 5. While investigating a complicated issue between different consumer advocacy groups and financial institutions, a group of consumers alleged that a major bank has engaged in unfair and deceptive lending practices. They claim the bank provided misleading information about mortgage terms, including hidden fees and variable interest rate adjustments that were not properly disclosed. The bank argues that all terms were included in the documents and it is the consumer's responsibility to read them carefully before signing. Under Truth in Lending Act (TILA) regulations, which of the following is the best legal argument consumers can use to prove deceptive lending practices? A. The bank failed to clearly disclose the terms and the information provided was misleading or incomplete, violating TILA's disclosure requirements. B. The consumers did not fully understand the contract, so they should be able to cancel it at any time. C. The bank has the right to change interest rates as long as it follows internal policies, even if consumers did not fully understand the terms. D. Since the contract was signed voluntarily, consumers are fully responsible for understanding all terms, regardless of the bank's disclosures. Answer A. The bank failed to clearly disclose the terms and the information provided was misleading or incomplete, violating TILA's disclosure requirements. Explanation: The Truth in Lending Act (TILA 15 U.S.C.) SS 1601 et seq. requires lenders to fully and clearly disclose credit terms so that consumers can make informed decisions. Violations occur when key financial terms, such as interest rates, fees, and payment obligations, are hidden or misrepresented. To establish deceptive lending, consumers must prove the lender failed to disclose critical terms in clear and understandable manner. The bank's practices led to financial harm, misleading information. The lender did not comply with mandatory disclosure requirements under TILA. A is correct because failing to disclose key terms violates TILA's transparency requirements. B is incorrect because consumer misunderstanding does not automatically void contract. Only deception or failure to disclose does. C is incorrect because banks cannot unilaterally change rates without proper disclosure and compliance with contract terms. D is incorrect because even when consumers sign voluntarily, lenders must still comply with TILA's mandatory disclosure rules. Question 6. During a major transformation where existing methods of handling consumer complaints are under review, a company facing a class action lawsuit for defective home appliances is considering requiring mandatory arbitration clauses in future purchase agreements. The company believes arbitration will reduce litigation costs, while consumer advocates argue this will limit consumer rights to legal recourse. Under U.S. consumer protection law, when our mandatory arbitration clause is in consumer contracts unenforceable. A. When the arbitration process is excessively expensive or one-sided in favor of the business, making it unfair to consumers. B. When consumers fail to read the arbitration clause before signing the agreement. C. When the clause applies to all consumer complaints, including those related to fraud and misrepresentation. D. When the business can provide a reasonable justification for requiring arbitration instead of litigation. Answer A. When the arbitration process is excessively expensive or one-sided in favor of the business, making it unfair to consumers. Explanation: Mandatory arbitration clauses are often used in consumer contracts to require disputes to be settled through private arbitration rather than in court. However, under the Federal Arbitration Act, FAR 9 U.S.C. SSS 116 and relevant consumer protection laws, these clauses can be unenforceable if they are unfair or unconscionable. For mandatory arbitration clause to be unenforceable, courts look fairness. If arbitration is prohibitively expensive or biased toward the company, is invalid. Access to justice. If it denies consumers the ability to pursue claims effectively, courts may strike it down. Scope and transparency. Hidden or overly broad clauses limiting consumer rights may be unenforceable. A is correct because arbitration clauses cannot create an unfair burden on consumers. B is incorrect because failing to read contract does not automatically make it invalid. C is incorrect because some arbitration clauses may legally cover fraud claims, but broad unfair restrictions can still be challenged. D is incorrect because business justification alone does not override consumer protection laws. Question 7. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in a national logistics company, management notices that certain warehouses experience significantly higher product damage rates than others. Further investigation reveals that inconsistent employee training on proper handling procedures contributes to the issue. Which of the following actions would be most effective in reducing damage rates while ensuring compliance with federal occupational safety regulations? A. Implementing a standardized training program for all employees and regularly auditing compliance. B. Placing the responsibility solely on warehouse managers to ensure proper product handling. C. Increasing penalties for employees responsible for damaged products without further training. D. Reducing warehouse workload by limiting the number of daily shipments processed. Answer A. Implementing a standardized training program for all employees and regularly auditing compliance. Explanation. Workplace safety and handling procedures are regulated under the Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) guidelines. Companies must provide adequate training to minimize accidents and ensure regulatory compliance. A is correct because a standardized training program ensures consistent procedures, accountability, and compliance with safety regulations. B is incorrect because placing responsibility solely on managers without proper employee training does not address the root issue. C is incorrect because increasing penalties without additional training does not improve handling procedures or prevent future errors. D is incorrect because reducing shipments to solve the issue of improper handling techniques. Question 8. During a major transformation where existing methods of software security are being reevaluated, a financial institution considers shifting to multi-factor authentication (MFA) for customer logins. However, some customers argue that MFA is inconvenient and management is concerned about potential security risks versus user accessibility. Which of the following represents the best approach for implementing MFA? Balancing security and user experience. A. Implementing MFA as a required step for all transactions without any exceptions. B. Offering customers the ability to opt out at MFA if they find it inconvenient. C. Using adaptive MFA, which triggers extra authentication steps only in high-risk scenarios. D. Eliminating passwords entirely and relying only on biometric authentication. Answer. C. Using adaptive MFA, which triggers extra authentication steps only in high-risk scenarios. Explanation. MFA is essential for securing online banking transactions, but forcing authentication on every action can hinder user experience. Adaptive MFA assesses risk levels and requires additional verification only when needed. C is correct because adaptive MFA maintains security while minimizing unnecessary inconvenience. A is incorrect because requiring MFA for every interaction may lead to user frustration. B is incorrect because allowing users to opt out defeats the security benefits of MFA. D is incorrect because biometric authentication alone is not foolproof and may exclude certain users. Question 9. In an environment where different components must interact, a manufacturing company integrates automated robots into its production line. However, the increased automation leads to unexpected delays and system inefficiencies due to misalignment between human workers and robotic workflows. What is the most effective strategy to optimize performance and reduce operational bottlenecks? A. Reducing human intervention by fully automating all production steps. B. Enhancing coordination by developing a hybrid workflow that synchronizes robots with human workers. C. Assigning human workers only to oversight roles, eliminating direct interactions with robots. D. Slowing down the robotic systems to match human working speeds. Answer. B. Enhancing coordination by developing a hybrid workflow that synchronizes robots with human workers. Explanation. Successful human-robot collaboration requires synchronized workflows rather than replacing one system with another. B is correct because the hybrid workflow optimizes efficiency by ensuring smooth integration between automated and manual tasks. A is incorrect because full automation may not be feasible or cost-effective in all cases. C is incorrect because assigning workers only to oversight roles limits flexibility and problem-solving ability. D is incorrect because slowing down robots decreases productivity rather than improving collaboration. Question 10. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, a city's emergency services department analyzes response times for medical emergencies. The review finds that traffic congestion and outdated dispatch systems contribute to delays in ambulance arrivals. Which of the following measures would be the most effective solution to improve emergency response times? A. Implementing GPS-based dynamic dispatch system that assigns ambulances based on real-time location and traffic data. B. Increasing the number of ambulances, regardless of whether they are evenly distributed across the city. C. Mandating that all emergency vehicles operate at maximum speed at all times. D. Restricting non-emergency vehicles from using main roads during peak hours. Answer. A. Implementing a best dynamic dispatch system that assigns ambulances based on real-time location and traffic data. Explanation. Emergency response optimization requires real-time data to adapt to traffic conditions. A is correct because the DIR-based dispatch system ensures faster, more efficient ambulance routing. B is incorrect because simply increasing ambulances does not guarantee improved response times if dispatch inefficiencies remain. C is incorrect because operating at maximum speed is dangerous and does not address dispatch issues. D is incorrect because restricting non-emergency vehicles is impractical and does not address the root problem. Question 11. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment, a hospital introduces electronic health record integration to improve patient care. However, some departments struggle with compatibility issues between their old systems and the new platform, leading to delays in accessing critical patient data. Which of the following is the best approach to ensure a smooth transition to the new AIR system? A. Requiring all departments to immediately switch to the new system, regardless of technical difficulties. B. Providing phased implementation and targeted training sessions for staff based on their department's needs. C. Allowing departments to continue using their existing systems indefinitely while gradually updating records manually. D. Assigning it personnel to manage data entry exclusively, eliminating direct user access to the system. Answer: B. Providing phased implementation and targeted training sessions for staff based on their department's needs. Explanation: AIR implementation requires careful planning and training to avoid disruptions in patient care. B is correct because phased approach and targeted training minimize disruptions and allow departments to adapt gradually. A is incorrect because forcing an immediate switch may lead to errors and system overload. C is incorrect because relying on manual updates reduces efficiency and increases the risk of data discrepancies. D is incorrect because removing direct access from staff creates dependency on it personnel and slows down workflows. Question 12. During a critical transition period where existing processes are being restructured, a retail company adopts automated inventory management to improve stock tracking. However, employees notice discrepancies between reported inventory and actual stock levels. What is the most effective way to resolve these discrepancies and ensure accurate inventory tracking? A. Conducting regular physical inventory audits and reconciling data with the automated system. B. Disabling the automated system temporarily and reverting to manual stock checks. C. Assuming the automated system is correct and ignoring employee-reported discrepancies. D. Increasing penalties for employees responsible for stock mismanagement. Answer: A. Conducting regular physical inventory audits and reconciling data with the automated system. Explanation: automated systems improve accuracy but still require regular verification to prevent errors. A is correct because physical audits ensure accuracy and help identify system errors. B is incorrect because disabling automation negates its benefits. C is incorrect because ignoring discrepancies leads to financial losses and supply chain issues. D is incorrect because penalizing employees without addressing system issues is ineffective. Question 13. In a situation where resource allocation comes a major challenge, a software development firm faces bottlenecks in project deadlines due to unbalanced team workloads. Some teams are overburdened, while others have excess capacity. What is the most effective strategy to optimize resource allocation? A. Implementing a dynamic workload distribution system that reallocates tasks based on real-time project status. B. Assigning all teams an equal number of tasks, regardless of their expertise or workload. C. Reducing project deadlines to force teams to work more efficiently. D. Outsourcing all critical tasks to third-party vendors to minimize in-house workload. Answer: A. Implementing a dynamic workload distribution system that reallocates tasks based on real-time project status. Explanation: dynamic workload distribution ensures efficient use of available resources by adapting to changing needs. A is correct because it balances workloads and improves productivity. B is incorrect because equal task assignment does not consider expertise or urgency. C is incorrect because reducing deadlines creates stress without solving bottlenecks. D is incorrect because outsourcing can be expensive and may reduce quality control. Question 14. While investigating a complicated issue between different departments in a corporation, leadership discovers miscommunication regarding project goals, causing delays and duplicated work. Which solution would best address these communication challenges? A. Establishing cross-departmental meetings and shared project management tools. B. Assigning a single department to take full control over all projects. C. Replacing email communication with verbal instructions only. D. Eliminating interdepartmental collaboration to reduce miscommunication. Answer: A. Establishing cross-departmental meetings and shared project management tools. Explanation: effective communication tools and structured meetings prevent misunderstandings and improve collaboration. A is correct because shared tools increase visibility and coordination across departments. B is incorrect because one department cannot handle all tasks alone. C is incorrect because verbal communication without documentation leads to misunderstandings. D is incorrect because eliminating collaboration reduces efficiency and innovation. Question 15. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a city's disaster response team struggles to coordinate relief efforts effectively. Resources are delayed, and emergency shelters are overwhelmed. What is the most effective way to improve emergency response coordination? A. Implementing centralized communication system that updates all responders in real time. B. Relying solely on volunteers without structured plan. C. Assigning disaster response responsibilities to only one department. D. Using social media as the only source of communication during emergencies. Answer: A. Implementing a centralized communication system that updates all responders in real time. Explanation: emergency response requires real-time coordination to deploy resources effectively. A is correct because the centralized communication system ensures accurate and timely information. B is incorrect because relying solely on volunteers without structure causes inefficiencies. C is incorrect because one department cannot handle all aspects of disaster relief. D is incorrect because social media alone is unreliable in crisis situations. Question 16. In a scenario where efficiency decreases across multiple business units, a manufacturing company notices that production cycle times have increased significantly despite technological advancements. What is the best solution to address declining efficiency? A. Conducting a process analysis to identify bottlenecks and implement targeted improvements. B. Reducing workforce size to cut costs. C. Replacing experienced employees with newer hires to bring fresh perspectives. D. Ignoring the issue, assuming the decline will correct itself over time. Answer: A. Conducting a process analysis to identify bottlenecks and implement targeted improvements. Explanation: identifying process inefficiencies helps improve performance systematically. A is correct because process analysis reveals root causes and solutions. B is incorrect because reducing workforce may worsen efficiency. C is incorrect because replacing experienced workers can disrupt workflow. D is incorrect because ignoring problems leads to long-term losses. Question 17. In a high-stakes environment where multiple challenges arise simultaneously, a multinational company is expanding into a new market while also dealing with supply chain disruptions. Executives are struggling to balance short-term crisis management with long-term strategic growth. What is the most effective approach to managing these competing priorities? A. Creating a dedicated crisis management team to handle immediate challenges while the leadership focuses on long-term goals. B. Pausing all expansion plans until supply chain disruptions are resolved. C. Prioritizing short-term crisis management and delaying all strategic planning. D. Reducing operational costs by cutting workforce size and relying on external consultants. Answer: A. Creating a dedicated crisis management team to handle immediate challenges while the leadership focuses on long-term goals. Explanation: balancing short-term crisis management with long-term strategic goals is critical for sustained success. A is correct because a dedicated crisis team allows leadership to maintain focus on strategy while still addressing immediate concerns. B is incorrect because halting expansion may cause lost opportunities. C is incorrect because focusing only on short-term issues leads to strategic stagnation. D is incorrect because workforce cuts may weaken operations rather than solving core problems. Question 18. While analyzing the root causes of sequential problems in product development, a technology company finds that software releases are frequently delayed due to last-minute bug fixes. Which approach would best improve product release timelines? A. Implementing continuous integration and automated testing throughout development. B. Extending project deadlines indefinitely to ensure bug-free releases. C. Reducing the number of quality checks to speed up development. D. Launching products on schedule even if major bugs remain unresolved. Answer: A. Implementing continuous integration and automated testing throughout development. Explanation: proactive testing and integration ensure faster, more reliable software releases. A is correct because continuous testing catches issues early, reducing last-minute fixes. B is incorrect because indefinite extensions delay market entry and reduce competitiveness. C is incorrect because skipping quality checks increases the risk of major failures. D is incorrect because releasing buggy software harms user experience and reputation. Question 19. During a seamless transition where continuity must be maintained, a university migrates to a new learning management system LMS mid-semester. Faculty and students struggle with technical issues and adaptation challenges. What is the best approach to ensure a smooth transition? A. Running both the old and new LMS in parallel while providing training and technical support. B. Forcing all users to immediately switch to the new system without additional support. C. Postponing the migration until the next academic year to avoid disruptions. D. Assigning responsibility for LMS issues entirely to the department without involving faculty or students. Answer: 8. Running both the old and new LMS in parallel while providing training and technical support. Explanation: a gradual transition with support minimizes disruptions and improves user adaptation. A is correct because a parallel system and training help ensure a smoother transition. B is incorrect because an immediate, unsupported switch creates confusion and frustration. C is incorrect because delaying migration wastes resources and prolongs inefficiencies. D is incorrect because all stakeholders should be involved in resolving challenges. Question 20. When scaling up operations that experience significant inefficiencies, a growing logistics company struggles to meet increased customer demands due to outdated processes. Which strategy would most effectively improve efficiency? A. Implementing automation and data-driven logistics tracking. B. Hiring additional workers without changing existing processes. C. Reducing the number of shipments to lessen operational strain. D. Ignoring inefficiencies and focusing solely on customer acquisition. Answer: A. Implementing automation and data-driven logistics tracking. Explanation: scalable automation reduces inefficiencies while accommodating growth. A is correct because technology-driven improvements increase efficiency without excessive labor costs. B is incorrect because adding workers without process improvements does not solve inefficiencies. C is incorrect because reducing shipments leads to low customer satisfaction. D is incorrect because ignoring inefficiencies worsens long-term operational performance. Question 21. In an environment where different components must interact, a smart city project integrates transportation, energy, and security systems into one digital platform. However, system failures in one area impact the others. What is the best way to ensure system stability? A. Creating redundant backup systems to prevent cascading failures. B. Isolating each component to prevent interactions. C. Relying on manual system overrides when failures occur. D. Disabling automated responses to avoid overloading the system. Answer: A. Creating redundant backup systems to prevent cascading failures. Explanation: redundant systems ensure resilience and prevent disruptions from spreading. A is correct because backup systems maintain stability during failures. B is incorrect because isolation prevents integration benefits. C is incorrect because manual overrides slow response times and are prone to errors. D is incorrect because disabling automation reduces efficiency. Question 22. While updating traditional approaches where interconnections between departments are weak, a financial firm adopts AI-driven risk assessment tools. However, resistance from senior employees slows adoption. What is the best way to encourage adoption? A. Providing hands-on training and emphasizing AI role as support tool, not replacement. B. Forcing all employees to use AI tools immediately without training. C. Allowing senior employees to opt out of using AI permanently. D. Replacing resistant employees with younger staff familiar with AI. Answer: A. Providing hands-on training and emphasizing AI role as support tool, not replacement. Explanation: training and reassurance help employees adapt to new technologies. A is correct because addressing concerns encourages adoption without creating fear. B is incorrect because forcing change without training increases resistance. C is incorrect because opting out creates inconsistency and inefficiencies. D is incorrect because replacing employees causes knowledge loss. Question 23. When dealing with a complex system that shows occasional failures, a financial services company relies on an automated fraud detection system. However, it sometimes flags legitimate transactions as fraudulent, causing customer dissatisfaction. What is the best way to reduce false positives while maintaining security? A. Refining the system's machine learning algorithms based on customer feedback. B. Reducing security measures to minimize false positives. C. Manually approving all flagged transactions to prevent errors. D. Ignoring customer complaints since fraud detection is the priority. Answer: A. Refining the system's machine learning algorithms based on customer feedback. Explanation: balancing fraud prevention with customer experience is essential. A is correct because machine learning refinements improve accuracy over time. B is incorrect because reducing security increases fraud risks. C is incorrect because manual approval is inefficient at scale. D is incorrect because ignoring complaints damages customer trust and retention. Question 24. During an emergency response where multiple areas are impacted, a hospital network experiences a cybersecurity attack, disrupting medical records and communication systems. What is the most effective immediate response? A. Activating pre-planned cybersecurity protocols, including system isolation and backups. B. Shutting down all hospital systems completely, including life support equipment. C. Waiting for its staff to resolve the issue before taking action. D. Making all patient records public to avoid system failures. Answer: A. Activating pre-planned cybersecurity protocols, including system isolation and backups. Explanation: rapid response with a pre-planned cybersecurity strategy is critical. A is correct because activating security protocols minimizes damage while ensuring continuity. B is incorrect because a total shutdown could endanger patients. C is incorrect because waiting worsens the impact of the attack. D is incorrect because exposing patient records violates privacy laws. Question 25. In a case where multiple parties have different objectives, a city government and environmental groups clash over a proposed highway expansion project, what is the best way to reach a balanced decision? A. Conducting an environmental impact study and negotiating alternative solutions. B. Approving the project without considering environmental concerns. C. Cancelling the project immediately to satisfy environmental groups. D. Ignoring public concerns and proceeding with construction. Answer: A. Conducting an environmental impact study and negotiating alternative solutions. Explanation: balancing development and environmental concerns requires data-driven decision-making. A is correct because an impact study and negotiations ensure all parties are heard. B is incorrect because ignoring environmental concerns could have long-term consequences. C is incorrect because cancelling the project outright may hurt economic growth. D is incorrect because dismissing concerns creates public backlash. Question 26. While investigating a complicated issue between different business units, a company discovers that sales and operations teams frequently miscommunicate, leading to order fulfillment delays. What is the best way to improve coordination? A. Implementing a centralized communication platform with real-time updates. B. Requiring employees to communicate exclusively via email. C. Allowing each department to handle communication independently. D. Penalizing employees for delays without addressing the root cause. Answer: A. Implementing a centralized communication platform with real-time updates. Explanation: clear, centralized communication enhances efficiency and collaboration. A is correct because real-time updates reduce miscommunication and delays. B is incorrect because email-only communication can be slow and inefficient. C is incorrect because independent communication leads to fragmentation. D is incorrect because penalties don't fix systemic issues. Question 27. During a comprehensive review of a process that needs improvement, a manufacturing company realizes that its quality control process is inconsistent, leading to defective products. Which approach would most effectively improve quality control? A. Implementing automated quality checks and standardized inspection procedures. B. Reducing inspection requirements to increase production speed. C. Accepting a certain percentage of defective products to save costs. D. Relying solely on customer complaints to identify issues. Answer: A. Implementing automated quality checks and standardized inspection procedures. Explanation: a proactive quality control system ensures product consistency and customer satisfaction. A is correct because automation reduces human error and ensures consistency. B is incorrect because fewer inspections increase defect rates. C is incorrect because knowingly allowing defects harms brand reputation. D is incorrect because relying on complaints reacts too late to quality issues. Question 28. When implementing new protocols in a shared environment, and a department introduces a company-wide cybersecurity policy, but employees resist complying with security measures, what is the best way to increase compliance? A. Providing training and incentives for following cybersecurity practices. B. Enforcing strict penalties for non-compliance without training. C. Allowing employees to bypass security measures for convenience. D. Removing security protocols to prevent workplace resistance. Answer A. Providing training and incentives for following cybersecurity practices. Explanation. Successful policy implementation requires engagement and education. A is correct because training and incentives encourage voluntary compliance. B is incorrect because strict penalties alone may create resentment. C is incorrect because bypassing security creates vulnerabilities. D is incorrect because removing security defeats the policy's purpose. Question 29. In a situation where resource allocation becomes a challenge, a hospital faces a shortage of medical supplies while dealing with increased patient volume. What is the best way to manage limited resources effectively? A. Prioritizing supplies for critical cases and optimizing inventory management. B. Distributing supplies equally without considering patient needs. C. Relying only on donations and external funding. D. Ignoring shortages and operating as usual. Answer. 8. Prioritizing supplies for critical cases and optimizing inventory management. Explanation. Strategic prioritization ensures optimal resource use during shortages. A is correct because prioritizing critical cases ensures life-saving care. B is incorrect because equal distribution doesn't account for medical urgency. C is incorrect because relying only on donations is unreliable. D is incorrect because ignoring shortages worsens the crisis. Question 30. During the introduction of new methods where coordination is essential, a global corporation implements remote work policies but struggles with team collaboration across different time zones. What is the best solution to improve coordination? A. Establishing overlapping work hours and using asynchronous communication tools. B. Requiring employees to work the same hours regardless of time zones. C. Eliminating remote work and mandating an office presence. D. Letting employees communicate only when necessary. Answer. A. Establishing overlapping work hours and using asynchronous communication tools. Explanation. Flexible collaboration improves global team efficiency. A is correct because overlapping hours allow real-time interaction while asynchronous tools support different time zones. B is incorrect because a rigid schedule reduces flexibility and productivity. C is incorrect because eliminating remote work ignores its benefits. D is incorrect because minimal communication causes disconnection.